Welcome to this Support and Save Thor News November 2018 fundraiser. I do them at the beginning of every month, but this month, I guess due to the election and everything that ever led up to it, I'm going to need a money miracle. So if you would like Thor News to continue, please make a contribution or a donation via my PayPal link so I can make rent by Monday and continue to bring you guys the best Earth, space, and crazy news in the universe. And today we're talking about aliens. We're at the Huffington Post. Weird news. And marijuana is not really that weird. Sure, in your early stages. If you smoke it, things may get weird after you smoke it, but marijuana itself is not weird. The Bible says, in like the third paragraph of Genesis, I, God, give you all green seed-bearing plants. And hey, guess what? Marijuana is both green, seed-bearing, and you could probably run your car on hemp oil if, not being profitable were what corporations wanted to do. We're talking about former manager of the Department of Defense Aerospace Threat Program. UFOs are real, man. And yeah, I totally believe that. I think aliens are already here. I think aliens gave us the transistor. It is all hard Thor news I'm giving you right now. It's personal opinion, really. But I've seen a lot of crazy UFOs in the sky. But just because it's unidentified doesn't mean that it's an alien. Right? Do we know that? Former manager of DoD Aerospace Threat Program. UFOs are real. I already said that. All right. Something extraordinary was revealed today. That's what she said. Former high-level officials and scientists with deep black experience, whoa, TMI, who have always remained in the shadows, came forward on one platform. These insiders have long-standing connections to government agencies, which may have programs investigating unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAP or UFOs. The team includes 25-year veteran of the CIA's Directorate of Operations, a Lockheed Martin Program Director for Advanced Systems at Skunk Works, and a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence. And let me tell you something. There are, there's Lockheed Martin, there's Rayon, there's Boeing. There's quite a few defense agencies. Every once in a while, I would talk to people from defense agencies. Back in the day when I used to leave my apartment. I know one of the defense agencies had a theory that I'm an alien. I was like, that's weird. They were like, you might be related to Valiant Thor. And I was like, that is fascinating. You should look into the Valiant Thor story. I will probably do a story on it someday. But yeah, supposedly he was an alien, came from Venus. He kind of does look like me and my family. And he came to bring peace and prosperity. I guess we're still at it. I guess as long as I'm still here, then there's hope. So yeah, aliens, I believe in them. I might even be one. That's fascinating. That would explain how I got so smart and so cool, man. Okay, so that's why I'm not cocky. I'm humble. I was born this way. Today marked the official launch of To the Stars Academy of Arts and Sciences, an innovative public benefit corporation. That sounds like an oxymoron. Public benefit corporation? Oh no. It's almost like a good time Spanish Inquisition. It just ain't real. And I do want to say, if you've been paying attention to the media for the last 5 to 10 since 9/11 really, it is like the media is trying to divide and conquer us all along lines of race, religion, nationality, sex, sexuality, your favorite sports teams, your favorite rock and roll bands, your favorite comedians, your favorite ice cream, it doesn't matter. They want humans to hate humans. Where some people may be like, hey, yeah, if they make the world a really shitty place, that is great for rich people. And I totally disagree, dude. Things have gotten so bad, the quality of life, and I just mean how we treat each other, has gone way, way, way down since 9/11. And so the divide and conquer system we are in seems incredibly anti-human. So it's like somebody hates humans. And if you want to get into the Richard Hoagland theory, he believes that the first Mars rover, he documents it. Well, went out and picked up a microchip that had been sending signals to radio signals to Earth. They went and picked up the microchip, and then a decade or so later, we had the iPhone. So that is an interesting theory as well. There are a lot of interesting alien theories. And you go back to the pyramids. I don't know, man. Yeah, aliens. And mathematically, if the universe never ends, then, or gets close to never ending, then there have to be other life out there. Pretty sure there's probably even life within our solar system. All right, so this crazy public benefit corporation, which will advance research into unexplained phenomena. Oh yeah, a corporation dedicated to making money off of aliens. That makes sense. Phenomena and develop related technology. It has established 3 synergistic divisions: science, aerospace, and entertainment. You should wrap all those up in SciRent. We believe there are discoveries within our reach that will revolutionize the human experience. And there is a NASA or science saying that every time one civilization learns of a more advanced civilization, the crappy civilization collapses. And there's also theories that the normal people could handle these crazy revelations, but the scientists couldn't, because they've spent their whole life believing one thing is true, and so if you unhinged what they thought was true, they'd go crazy. So maybe we're being held back because of the scientists. Thanks, scientists. We believe there are discoveries within our reach that will revolutionize the human experience, says company president and CEO Tom DeLonge. Whoa, from Blink-182? That guy is talented and wears multiple hats. Please see my previous story, released yesterday, for background on today's announcement, which was live streamed and is archived on the company's website. The 2 most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you find out why. Well, I was born to bring peace on Earth and to get humanity to come together as one Earth family and to take a step into the future and to bigger, better, and brighter things. I'm still having a tough go of it, though. Brad Pitt once said, there are 3 things you won't be prepared for: life, death, and fame. Well, I guess I don't have to worry about the fame part. I definitely wasn't prepared for being born. According to a TTS-AAS statement, its team members who have been operating under the shadows of top secrecy for decades believe that there is sufficient credible evidence of a UAP that proves exotic technologies exist that could revolutionize the human experience. Are they gonna... Is it legal to have sex with aliens? This could represent the beginning of a trend towards a new openness on the part of the U.S. government. Disclosure! I don't know about that, dude. These people know more than any of us, and they will be releasing important data on UAP in the future. As an investigative reporter with a long-standing interest in this subject, who has worked with a few Academy team members in the past, I was shown some of his data. Whoa. At a meeting, with them on October 4th. Present for that 4-hour meeting was Luis Elizondo, who ran an important program at the DoD. Elizondo is a senior career intelligence officer whose experience includes working with the U.S. Army, the Department of Defense, the National Counterintelligence Executive, and the Director of National Intelligence. He served as the Director for the National Program Special Management Staff and the Office of the Secretary of Defense. That one was long. He is also the former Director of Programs to investigate unidentified aerial threats for the Office of the Secretary of Defense. I even had someone tell me that their dad was working with the aliens. Yeah, when I used to leave the house, go to a bar or just wherever, someone would always come find me. How, I don't know. But yeah, this lady was saying her dad worked for aliens. And they had technology that could remove radiation and cure cancer. And I was like, well, then why are they being such dicks? Why don't they be cool and give us that shit and everybody get along together? She was like, that is not their agenda. I was like, oh, geez. Well, how am I supposed to defeat aliens if human beings are tearing themselves to shreds? And that's another thing, people. That's why I'm trying to get humanity to unite, is because we're kind of at the bargaining table of a transition into the future. And so we know we have corporations who are at the bargaining table against each other. And then let's say we have aliens. Let's say you have artificial intelligence. So it is definitely a good time for human beings to band together to meet at the bargaining table to make sure we don't get the short end of the stick. By short end of the stick, I mean mass depopulation and, like really crappy conditions, which is another reason to support Thor News. There's so few people out there who are pushing for peace in the world today and humanity to get along, but I am one of them and will be here on this fight. So if you can, please contribute and donate. Unless, you want war and failure. Lou will architect partnerships with some very sensitive places. Whoa, that sounds graphic. To help protect us, like me, Planetary Defense Commander. The technology involved, so we may achieve for you the extraordinary. It's like ordinary, but extra, said Tom DeLong. Lou, the nickname for Lewis, had resigned his position at the DOD literally the day before we met. I was able to verify who he was, what his tasks were at the Pentagon. He received the highest commendations from his superiors. I was told that important unclassified data and documentation are expected to be released through the Academy's online community of interest in collaboration with the government, which will be set up soon. The Academy's online community of interest. What the hell? That sounds like they're going to track people like me down. That doesn't sound good. I asked him if these unidentified objects were considered to be threats. They did not exhibit overt... Let me try that one again. They did not exhibit overt hostility. Yeah, but remember the aliens from Attack from Mars? At first they were like, we are nice. And then they were not nice. So, at the beginning, maybe they were going to act friendly, and then they're going to be like, we're not your friends. So they're like, we're your friends, and then like, we're not your friends. Oh, I'm just kidding. Imagine advanced civilizations and Civ 1 civilizations have to get along. Like in Star Trek, they give up war, and then they got to have good times and explore everything. So I imagine, or at least I hope, that the aliens aren't mean. Another thing, that's why people are like, Earth's flat. Well, if that's true, then that means we're getting farmed by aliens, bro. And so that's hard to work with. Like, how am I expected to defeat 10,000-year-old aliens with giant ships? I don't know. I'll figure out a way. But something unexplained is always assumed to be a potential threat until we're certain it isn't. On the bright side, I believe we're closer than ever before in our understanding about how it operates, he told me. At the event today, Elizondo explained his work this way. I'm accustomed to being involved in close-hold, nuanced programs involving national security. This includes being a counterintelligence special agent, a case officer, and an intelligence practitioner. However, by far the most interesting effort I was involved was with the topic of advanced aerial threats. Man, and you want to know how cool technology is? Back in the day, we used to have regular gasoline, and now we got premium gasoline and then super premium gasoline. So imagine it's the same way for like the jets. The jets run on like uber octane gasoline. That's how advanced our technology is on ours. On that note, I'm lighting a cigarette. He stated that he ran a sensitive aerospace threat identification program focusing on unidentified aerial technologies. His job at TTSAAS will be to work as a liaison and interlocutor. What? Interlocutor? What is that? I'm going to have to look that up. In the collection of this information for the Science Division, allowing us to collect facts for analysis. How will this be done? One way is through COI, which will provide a platform for the detection and triangulation of phenomena events in real time. and allows two-way communication between the public and our team regarding this information. As a result of his position managing the DoD program for almost a decade, Lou said, "I learned that the phenomenon is indeed real." In short, less than 2 weeks after leaving the Pentagon, Lou Elizondo confirmed that UFOs are real. UFOs are real. So you have an official head-up DoD dude saying, yep, UFOs are real. Does this make the news? Back page of the Huffington Post. Weird news. They exist, and they have been officially documented. Can anyone argue with this fact now, given where this man comes from and what he knows? A former high-ranking DoD official, who only left his position last week, has confirmed that an official UFO program exists. Answering your question, so many have debated and speculated about for decades. I'm going to have to do an edited version of this. It is very important to understand that Lou does not speak for the DoD, since he is no longer employed there. He speaks independently as a part of the TTS Academy. Lou also stated, "We are also planning to provide never-before-released footage from real U.S. government systems. It's not blurry. They're not amateur photos. There's no Bigfoot. There's no Loch Ness Monster, but it's real data and real videos. And even more significant, we are inviting our government colleagues and friends in defense," that would be me, "to participate regularly with their own findings." Well, I live in Houston, and I'm only like 40 miles away from NASA, so I see a lot of cool shit in the sky. Lots of cool shit, man. But I don't ever try to videotape it because they act like they're friendly with me. They act like they know who I am. And that, like, if I wave, they'll change their light systems. So if their lights were doing one thing, if I wave at them, their lights will do another thing. Kind of like way back. And so, yep, I'll participate, but, it's kind of like, of all the people I tell you that I talk to behind the scenes, I don't tell you their names, I don't tell you who they are, because that way people continue to tell me cool shit, and I don't ever throw anybody under the bus. Unless we kind of dated, and then shit got real shaky and rocky, then sometimes I might say things in anger and weakness. But that's about super beautiful, talented women. That's totally different than aliens, right? Asterisks. Another member of the team, Stephen Justice, a great name, an experienced aerospace engineer, explained that he will use scientific discoveries about the travel of UAP through space, demonstrating almost unimaginable technology. I've seen some of that technology, by the way. One of the things about Thor News is that I have been honest to a fault. And yes, I've seen the new technology, and it's amazing. To develop technology multiple times. To develop technology that can change the world. If they'd allow it. Steve recently retired as a program director for the advanced systems at Lockheed Martin. And another full disclosure, I grew up in Fort Worth, Arlington, Texas. Lockheed Martin is right there. I went to Arlington Martin High School. I know a lot of people who work for Lockheed Martin, or I did back in the day when I knew people. And most of them are really, really cool people. After 31, Captain America, the living Captain America, really great guy. And did you know he's black in real life? Really great guy. Anyway, he worked for Lockheed Martin. He told me in an interview a few days ago, the opportunity here, as he sees it, is to stand in the future and look back. Like the James Webb Space Telescope. A telescope designed in 1995. Steve's objective is to harvest, don't use that word. Harvest this advanced technology to build a vehicle that will allow for almost instantaneous travel through land, air, oceans, and space. Whoa, by engineering the fabric of space-time. Don't you think we need to get our shit together as human beings first before we start bouncing around the universe? Such a vehicle could also float, like something from science fiction. Steve says we have had a glimpse from the science that could make this possible. It is not outside the realm of possibility if the necessary resources are in place. Interesting ship. TTS Academy member Chris Mellon served as Deputy Assistant Secretary for Defense for Intelligence for 2 administrations. and early in his career drafted the legislation that established the U.S. Special Operations Command at a time when terrorism was not yet on the radar. Asterisk. He presented an overview of a 2004 incident involving the aircraft carrier USS Nimitz, which was detected on 2 separate radars. 2 F-18s approached. The 4 aviators see that the object has no wings or exhaust. It is white, oblong, some 40 feet long, and perhaps 12 foot thick. One pilot pursues the craft while his wingman stays high. All right, high wingman. The pilots are astonished to see the object suddenly reorient itself toward the approaching F-18. In a series of discrete tumbling maneuvers that seem to defy the laws of physics, the object takes a position directly behind the approaching F-18. Hey, like it slammed on the brakes and let him fly right by. Teleported behind him. The lengthy event occurred in broad daylight off the California coast, and the gun camera footage was taken. At one point, the object went from hovering at 80,000 feet to dropping at supersonic speeds and came to a complete stop at 50 feet above the ocean. More F-18s are dispatched, but with similar results. The secret machine easily evades the F-18s. Dozens of military personnel aboard the various planes and ships involved are privy to these interactions. Tom DeLonge's final message today sums up the position of all involved. No one person, one government, or hidden institution should own this information and technology. Let me say this again. I'm definitely going to make an edited video. Tom DeLonge's final message today sums up the position of all involved. No one person, one government, or one hidden institution should own this information and technology. And on that note, I made a kick-ass edited video where I talk about everything in between the lines, but I do it with visuals and superheroes. I'm going to put that link for you here, where, there was a day where all the lights, power got shut off in our government. Clearly, there is bodies over our government and bodies over even the national banks or the federal banks that have far superior technology that play with our programs like they were kid toys. So I highly recommend watching that video. It's a masterpiece. It's edited. It's awesome. The link should be here. The TTS Academy intends to release game-changing information of the type interested people have been seeking for a long time. Absolutely. Now is the time to move forward and try to answer some of life's deepest mysteries. So once again, watch that edited video, see what I'm talking about, and if you want more badass news to continue through November and hopefully through year 7, please make a contribution and a donation through my PayPal link today or tomorrow, and I will love you forever. Either way, stay cool. God bless everyone. May the force be with you always, and let us live long and prosper together.